Hello and good morning, LinkedIn. I'm a huge fan of Karl Guttag. The man has over 200 patents. He used to work at Texas Instruments. He designed some of the most advanced chipsets in the world in regards to DLP, LCD, and Lycos, and many others. I'm an ardent reader of his posts and his blog. He gets about 15 to 20,000 views a month. And, in my opinion, you're not going to find a more advanced electronics or optics analysis in the entire world. So his latest post discusses the Nreal, which is the newest addition to the mixed reality heads-up displays or near-eye displays with just a simple glasses with a light pack. Now this received a ton of positive feedback from individuals at CES this year. And in just looking at it, we can touch on some of the pros, that's upgraded from the 720p of the Magic Leap and the HoloLens to a Sony 1080p micro OLED display. It's also much lighter. I think the Magic Leap is around 240 grams. The Nreal is at just under 85 grams. That's impressive to shrink all of that down into a form factor like that. But also look at the resolution, not just the 1080p. We talk about the angular resolution as well, but the horizontal and the vertical resolution when compared to just the Magic Leap. In referencing Karl's article here, he discusses that it delivers about 3 times the horizontal and 2 times the effective vertical resolution of the Magic Leap, which much better contrast at almost a third of the price. That's a significant achievement for their team. We know that the founder used to work at Magic Leap, and maybe that had something to do with it. We're not really sure. But I really believe that everybody would benefit by reviewing Karl's articles. They're just fantastic because he cuts right to the chase. He outlines the system configuration on these things, some of the design flaws he talked about in the system configuration here. You can see in the computer battery here where the USB plugs in on the light pack, it's wired in to the glasses on the back side, and that would be easier if that detached, because then you could have a longer cable, you could have a shorter cable. Again, it's giving you accessories and options to kind of play around with. But I really believe that these kinds of shrinking of the form factor is going to happen. I mean, it's in the industry itself. It's become so prevalent for companies to reverse engineer, products. That's why we see now with some of the patent laws that used, first to file and first to invent. That's kind of flipped everything upside down. The United States used to be very pro-inventor friendly, and now it's not. It's very pro-corporate friendly, especially when it comes to inventions and patent law. I want to hear what you guys have to think about this because, as Karl alludes to, it's a very simple optical, they call it bird bath design, with just a beam splitter and a spherical mirror. I think we can come down here to this ODG link and you can take a look at what that actually looks like there. But this is very common in many different types of near-eye displays. We saw this in the ODG R7, R8s, and R9s. Many of those patents that they put out there, but countless other companies out there have also used the bird bath design, as Karl references, is because it gives a very solid and image quality at a very low cost, for these companies. But there are the downsides to the bird bath optical design. Essentially, Karl calls it the dark side, and that it blocks a lot of light. And we've discussed this in the past where we don't want mixed reality devices to feel like a virtual reality device, to feel like you're in a movie theater, an incredibly dark room, that the only things you see are 200,000 or 300,000 polygons, but everything else is completely black. Again, with these kinds of optic systems, with the bird bath specifically, it's blocking north of 90% of that light. You compare that to 85% of the Magic Leap, around 75 to 80% with the HoloLens, and some people were actually putting films on the HoloLens to test that outside. Nathan and Valorem kind of sent me some information on that. But we don't want to block all that light out, so this is a huge issue. Obviously, you're not going to be using these at a sporting event. You're not going to be using these outside. You're going to, again, kind of have to use these in some kind of a darker room or a controlled environment. Otherwise, you're going to see, different kinds of artifacts and reflections and all kinds of other issues that are just downsides to the technology itself. Now, the the Nreal glasses may not have as advanced simultaneous localization and mapping. They've come out and said that they want to improve it. You know, that to me is kind of the bread and butter of many of these devices, because the entire experience relies on environmental awareness and its ability to accurately map your environment. So if it doesn't do that quickly, efficiently, then you're going to have some issues there. You're going to see, wobblings of the image, reflections from other devices or subjects in your environment. So we don't want that, and obviously they're going to have to improve on these things as they continue to move forward. And also with people with vision issues, they have vision inserts on these, but it'd be really nice if they could somehow in the future rely on software, with maybe coupled with hardware, but software to resolve some of these vision-based issues. Because when you're going out and doing hundreds of demos, you don't have 40 different inserts for people to just slide in and then keep on testing. It makes it very challenging to provide real-time demos, especially at a venue like CES, in Vegas. And then the temperature-related issues, that we were talking about before with many of these other devices. It just gets too hot too fast, especially if you have an application that is using a lot of processing power, computational power. Then it just gets hot. I mean, all of these devices do. After 2 or 3 hours, it sounds amazing to use it for 15 or 20 minutes, but if you want an experience where you're replacing a display or a laptop or a desktop workstation with one of these near-eye displays, heads-up displays, mixed reality, transparent optic systems, then having a very high exothermic temperature right next to your skin is not conducive to any kind of efficient work areas. So it's something we need to continue and to improve on, in the industry itself. And I would really recommend you guys go check out his blog. I'll go ahead and put that link here in the video. And just constantly reach out to Karl. He's very he's available. If you listen to some of the AR show, that's where I got a lot of information, in optic designs and the history of these systems, going back 25 years. It's amazing that somebody takes this type of their time away, because he's the CTO of Raven. They make some mixed reality heads-up displays for the military, I believe. So they're taking their time, which is something I do on LinkedIn to share information, but I love seeing other people take it to another level, and Karl certainly does it. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. I hope you had some value. You got some value out of this video today. And as always, post your questions or comments below here, and reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much.